Hello everyone, today we are celebrating hex code colors 9 years later, yeah! When I started my hex code color video series, I didn't think I would have to make a video 9 years later. But now I'm convinced there will be a 10, 11, 12, etc. years later video. Chris has realized how much money he can make with very easy color swaps. Most of the very expensive paints that CRG is selling, up to $25 for one paint, are just very easy color swaps. Swap existing 4 colors to 4 new ones. Profit! Yeah! But of course, 4 years ago, CRG said, it's still on the table, yeah.
We showed up a video with Nate Dearsley demonstrating a hex code paint editor, a tool that was originally designed internally for artists on the ship team in order to help, color and paint stuff. But it was said during the thing that this would be a great tool to give to org leaders and stuff. They could give out their hex codes to their players and all have a unified paint scheme and stuff like this. So the idea itself is not dead.
It was never dead.
Okay.
Yeah, it's absolutely something we still want to be able to support and give players the freedom to make their ships more their ships.
I understand CRG needs money, Star Citizen has a long way to go, and I understand people love to support the project. I did this myself, I am way past concierge. However, most skins and paints are very easy color swaps and way too expensive. And even if those would be free, we still need hex codes because players and orcs want ships in individual colors. Occasionally you can find comments on Spectrum like, I don't want people to use their own colors. I don't want to see pink ships. Well, this ship sailed a long time ago. We have pink star-kitten dragonflies, we have bear helmets, we have nerf guns. And in a game like Star Citizen, which is full of magic and has very little physics, pink ships don't annoy me, magic does. And to make this perfectly clear, we are not talking about skins. Skins can be complicated. We are talking about a simple editor where we can change the 4 default colors to 4 new ones. Actually, this is what CRG does. Most of the very expensive paints CRG is selling us are just color swaps. And for those who are saying, it was just Nathan Dearsley talking freely, it was just his individual opinion. No, no, this does not happen in a company like CRG. And even Chris said exactly the same thing almost 11 years ago.
It actually happens inside the shader. It's pretty cool. There's a sort of pretty efficient way of storing the data so it's not massive amounts of texture memory. Sign distance fields if anyone's interested. But it's pretty cool. So yeah, so for what will be happening going forward is now we'll be able to roll out different sort of first of all the skins that we've already promised, but probably some new ones, and at some point we'll allow tools for people to be able to sort of do their own paint job.
I will show you now Nathan Dearsley's video exactly 9 years ago. There will be a polite Spectrum posting from me. Link to this will be my first pinned comment below. I am already saying my goodbye. Thanks for watching. Auf Wiedersehen.
So essentially the process kind of begins with we want to get these pre-configured schemes done. So you could, for example, go off and go, oh, you know what, I want a NASA themed kind of skin, or I want a District 9 themed skin, or I want a pink Hello Kitty themed skin. And then essentially we as artists create basically they're material files. They're tiny in memory. They're so small that we can have like hundreds of them if we want to, because they're all calling the same textures. That's what's done under the hood. Okay, once those material files are created and obviously named accordingly and sanity checked that the emblem is called emblem and the submaterial ID is called submaterial ID 1, 2 and 3, they have to be the same names. That's then handed to tech design to then kind of set that up with the loadout that they're putting together for that ship. Further forward, we want these kind of paint configurations to become hex codes. So if you're in like a guild of 20 players, and the clan leader said, all right, this is our paint scheme, there's going to be no like guessing work. Like you get the hex code, you put it in there, and it automatically will say, oh, you know what, we've got matte black against yellow against pink, something crazy, and every ship in your fleet, you can put that hex code on and it will automatically go into that color configuration. So there's a lot of kind of cool things. And as artists, we do this stuff all day, every day, and we were just like, well, why wouldn't we give the end user this functionality? So that's the overall plan. There is a lot of kind of very things you have to be careful with when you're authoring the shaders for this stuff, so it can accommodate these options. But we're on top of that, and that's kind of, yeah, it's good. That's what we're doing on the initial kind of burst of ships right now. I think it's really cool, and it's really amazing to see, like, today I just kind of caught up with the guys and looked at what we're working on for that stuff, and there's like a fleet of 50 ships, all with different skins, all with different loadouts, and it injects color into the game. You can have your kind of personal things going on, which is kind of cool. If I was going to pick one to fly and customize myself, I've always got a sweet spot for the Avenger. If it was me I'd probably go for a dirty chrome kind of finish. The shape is just kind of so kind of primitive. To get some kind of highly reflective material on it, I think would just look super cool in space. So that's what I would go for.
So you have one big cargo elevator. Okay, what happened now? What is this? I didn't spawn the Pisces. Okay, I'm confused. Anyway, you might get some vehicles inside. Okay, and now Pisces left. I guess 2 hangars overlapped. Okay, that's too funny. I want to show you the Valaka tank. It's actually quite huge, but of course it has no use at all. It's just hangar decoration fluff. You can do nothing with it. You cannot even shoot at it. Oh, you can. I mean, you cannot destroy it, but you can move it with bullets, okay? Nothing in this game has mass. Everything has a mass of an empty paperback. Okay, I didn't expect this.
Not because our physics code is terrible, and in fact, it's great.
Hey, you're still here. You might want to join me on Twitter or on Blue Sky.